Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives us more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Rather than the Most High is just giving us more understanding every single day, more clarity every single day. We can see the actions of the other nations, and we see how they are fulfilling prophecy for their downfall as well as our rise. Sister sent me this right here. Second Esdras 16 and 21. Kind of jogged my memory. Thank you, sister, for sending this to me. And we're going to read a little bit. We're going to start actually at 18, because now you see why these books were so-called apocryphal books, hidden books, because they are going to explain exactly what you're seeing happening right now. You're actually going to be seeing the demons and the fact that they haven't been called by the Most High. So therefore, they're going to continue with their demon duties all the way until the end. They just go straight down a line. They don't veer left, they don't veer right, they don't think, they just go straight. And they're going to be going straight over a cliff. But this right here is showing you what's happening exactly right now. Within the last year, as well as what you're seeing right now at the beginning of our new year, and how they've just acted like everything should be wide open and everything is fixed and we're just going to go forward. We don't have, they're pretty much, they're like, we don't have time to sit here and think. We just go and go forward. Everything is open, everything is good, everything is 100%, and we're going straight down this path. We don't care where it takes us. No, we're not using the Bible anymore to, they're not using the Bible. They're not using the Bible to actually prove anything. They're just saying whatever they want to see. You don't see anything about faith anymore. You just see very little to nothing about Jesus, their Jesus 1.0 anymore. And see, a lot of these things were okay when they got away with a lot of this stuff because they were in their blessing. Now that blessing's been taken away, and now, like I said, they're like chickens with their heads cut off. Many wanting that vaccine so they can feel some sense of normalcy and try to go on trips and everything else. But that's all been prophesied right here. And see, now it makes sense as to why the churches have hidden these books, because it would pretty much expose what you're seeing right now. But that's okay. That's, like I said, that's our job, not theirs. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Those are the things that are happening right now. Those are the things that are happening right now. Great death, great famine, beginning of wars. We're sitting here on the precipice of World War III, sitting on the precipice of the beginning of the end. And and they're just ignoring it. They're not even putting it in the news. They're just, you see very very little information. So they're hiding all this, just like with the plague. They're barely talking about it anymore. But see, now there's more and more things happening. I was just looking at the news. I haven't even paying attention to the news because they're just putting up pretty much anything to just kind of keep information from flowing. Which, hey, if it was my demise, I'd do the same thing, I guess. Um, but they were talking about how Now, some of these vaccines are having issues. They're having adverse effects. People are still getting sick. Some people are still dying. And they've been trying to just blow it off. But then when they blow it off, it makes it seem like it's a cover up. That's what they were talking about themselves. And that I said makes a lot of sense. I said, when you keep on trying to just tell people that everything is good, when things aren't good, that's not going to work out. That's not going to work out. So let's continue with 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. And you had your first year. You had these scourges. You had these things happening, and these were for amendment. These were for the people to figure out, hey, is what I'm doing correct? Hey, is there an alternative? Hey, is what these Hebrew Israelites are saying is true? Hey, should I be cleaving to these people? Should I be following the ways of the Most High? So you had a whole year when you got a chance to, have these scourges be for an amendment. That year is done. So let's go to 20. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So right now, they have not turned from their wickedness, and was the last part, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So there's a plague right here, but they're just ignoring it. They're not being mindful of what is happening. They're not being mindful that the Most High has sent these plagues and these scourges on the earth. They're just, hell bent on opening up, on opening everything up and getting back to normal. The Most High set it up for them to get an opportunity, the ones that He's called to get an opportunity for the truth. But the vast majority have done what right there? Nor be always mindful of the scourges. They're busy wanting to take that jab and get on a plane and go on a trip, go out to eat, go to restaurants, go to the movies, go fill up baseball stadiums. Can't wait for the NBA playoffs so they can actually get into there. They're not mindful of the scourges. You look at the news every single day. It's YOLO, it's run to the bar, it's do whatever you want to go do. They're not mindful of the scourges. What has helped to do that? Look at 20, look at 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So everything is so cheap right now, you know? And that's how they set it up, so that you will not be mindful, okay, of the scourges. So instead of being mindful of what's going on, they're giving you everything to keep you away from thinking about the Most High. Free money, zero interest rates, stimulus checks. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what they're doing. Those are you know, the victual shall be so good and cheap upon the earth. Everything is cheap right now because they can't. It's 0% interest. I said because they can't raise anything because they don't have an economy anymore. So people are just thinking that hey, there's all these programs for us to get money. For our businesses, for this, for that. Let's just go ahead and get it, and just let's have a great time. It's the last time, so have a great time. And hey, that's pretty much true, but it's going to be for a very short time. What do they say? I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. That's exactly what's going on right now. So, but these things that they're spreading around right now is just what it says 21, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. So all these people are like, hey, we're great. We got our jab. We're good. Everything is great right now. We're back to normal. Open those schools. But that's all a trick. And that's what this is telling you right here. They're going to think that they're in a good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, the sword, famine, and great confusion. Well, that's what's happening right now over in the Ukraine and Russia. They're setting up for a war. But people here are so, happy with the cheap victuals and everything else. and the cheap money, cheap entertainment, thinking everything's in a good case. But all the while, the plague is growing. World War III is right on the doorstep. You see how these, right here, you see how these prophecies are playing out. And I was checking this out, guy right here. Okay. Off grid desert prepper. Breaking news about Russia right here. I was checking out his videos. Got some good information. I said, but you got to look it through the lens of the Hebrew Israelites. You get information. And, he actually is talking about how, the United States is itching for a war and that, this one might not go the way they've always have been. So you got some good information. But something that's huge is going on right now. As I guess there's a treaty that says that the United States is not supposed to be sending any warships into the Black Sea. And they've made it up. They're actually sending some warships that direction right now. And more than likely, this is going to force the hand, okay, of the Russians. Just my opinion, but you're just looking at what's going on. And it's funny because they're talking about how the United States is going to break their treaty. Well, what's new? See, the United America has broken over 400 treaties with our people. But see, they didn't have any adverse effects to that because they were still in their blessing. So, all they had to lose was their honor, but they could still break all the treaties. But they were still, for the most part, they were still successful even when they were breaking their treaties because they were in their blessing. But this is different now. See, now, they're breaking their treaty, but they're not in their blessing anymore. So now if they're not in their blessing, all bets are off. You go breaking your treaties now, and you don't have that coverage of the Most High. Now we'll see what happens. See, people don't understand that the Most High had blessed the United States because of our downfall. But our time, our 400 years, is up. So the blessing that was on the United States and the people that were here is over. So see, they're still thinking they can have that old same old playbook, that they're going to be able to break their treaties and that the Most High is going to give them that coverage and give them that blessing. Well, I'm thinking that this is going to be a huge slap in the face, and they're going to realize that they don't have that blessing anymore. So we're going to see how that goes, after their blessing has been taken away. But right now, like, hey, that's what's going on. He's bringing other nations down, especially the ones that have had us in slavery, the ones that have exploited our people and exploited our resources. So, like I said, that's some good information right there. I would suggest you check it out. But you see now how it's fitting prophecy perfectly. It's sitting at hitting that second Esdras perfect. So that second Esdras 16 hits a little different now. When you start to look at what's going on, you start to realize, how they've lost their blessing and how, the demons, priests of Mahan, are just trying to keep them in that days of Noah mindset. Everything's great. Keep doing what you're doing. These are the days of Noah to the T. And it's written in, you know, second Esdras right here, what's going on and how they keep them in that second Esdras, in that days of Noah mindset. Something that was shared with me as well. I wanted to put this up real quick for you guys to check out. See if you guys agree with it. See if it makes sense to your spirit. It says decoding Prince Philip's death. Died April 9th, age 99, on day 99 of the year, equals 666, written backwards. Abraham was 100 when Isaac was born, end of the 666 era, time of Abrahamic blessings. Check that out. Do a little research. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. We know that we're on the doorstep of our blessings again. We know that nothing happens on accident. So the death of the king here, hey, we'll see. Well, we know that the Most High is blessing us. We know we're on the precipice of us being raised right back up. and that they're about to be, taken down. All praise is to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom. I hope you guys had a good feast of unleavened bread for the week. All praises again. Shalom.